Welcome to Sponsored by Nobody. This week, sponsored by Friends. See, we have some. It's November 2021, and you're listening to Leaves in the Jungle, Season 2, Episode 4. In this game, we will be using the Wildsea world setting and system. I am Ian, your Firefly, and we have...
Austin playing Tzitzi-Yaku, the Chelicray.
Beth playing Rook, the Ardent.
Dylan playing Jisan, the Gal.
Jonathan playing Belt, the Ketra.
Excellent. And today, as it is Season 2, and Season 2 is the season of cameos, we have the most excellent and wonderful Andrew.
Yay!
Hi, I'm a centipede.
Yeah, Andrew is playing an excellent centipede.
How dare you?
Sorry, I made the wrong pun there. Not an excellent centipede. He's a sentient centipede.
Mostly.
It's beautiful and I love it. It's great. I'm very excited. Let's do a little warm up. What is a walrus?
Cuckoo, cachoo.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
A deceiver of oysters.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
A landlord.
A type of
Eggman.
stiff drink.
Stiff drink.
Stiff drink and an Eggman.
Yeah, or a toothy seal.
Nice.
Now, would that be a toothy seal as in an animal, or a toothy seal as in you made a seal in the ship and you used teeth to, like, staple it shut?
Either one.
I'm wondering if it's like they're a mythical creature that's fallen into legend, and people claim to have seen them on the seas, but we all know that in reality it's just those, fish-tailed ladies who hang around in the trees.
Yeah, because those are super common.
They're very common, and it's just, sailors who spent too much time in the trees, starting to want cuddles from their mustachioed friends.
Yeah.
So they're just looking at all these hot ladies being all like, oh yeah, it's my buddy with the mustache. Come give me a hug.
For some reason, walruses, like, with their, like, big cheeks and their whiskers and their long tusks and their thick fur and the barbs that cover their lower halves and the pustule-filled boobodes that cover their underside. They're just like the sexual, like, median for everything. Like, everything. They're not the most attractive to anyone, but, like,
right?
everyone can see it. Everyone can be like, I mean, it's not my thing, but I get it.
Right? Like, every once in a while, an Ardent will be saying to, like, a Celicray, like, oh yeah, I like curves, and the Celicray's like, what? Give me, 1,000 cloying hands any day. And the Ardent's like, what? But when they both talk about walruses, they're both like, no, I get it.
Yeah, walruses just have all of those.
It's
Thousands of glowing hands.
Appeal to everyone.
Universal appeal.
Yeah. The perfect trifecta.
They got something for everyone.
Excellent. And on that delicious note, we're going to start the episode here. So again, reiterating, as I'll probably end up doing every Cameo episode, these are not necessarily in any particular quote-unquote canonical order, and they're also, like, whether or not we talk about the war effort, it will be assumed that the discussion was had with our Cameo character, and it is assumed that the Cameo character will pick a side, yay or nay, for the war effort. Again, it doesn't have to come up in episode, and it probably doesn't make sense for it to come up in many of the episodes. So don't try and shoehorn it in there. This is our caveat here.
Be careful. I've been watching a lot of Clone Wars, so if you're not with us, you're against us. It's like just echoing in my dreams.
Oh,
That's-
excellent.
Obi-Wan both started and ended the Clone Wars. Just remember that.
Oh my gosh, I didn't consider that.
Excellent.
You fought with my dad in the Clone Wars? I may have started it, but I also finished it from a certain point of view.
I saw a comic recently where someone's like yelling at him for not finishing the job. They're like, "You cut Darth Maul in half." He's like, "I cut Darth Maul in half." And they're like, "Yeah, the wrong half." What about Darth Vader? I literally like cut him into pieces, cut off his arm, and they're like, "Yeah, all you had to do was like push him into the lava. You couldn't even do that."
And little sidelongs like kick into the hole. That's all you need.
Yep. Okay. So you guys find yourself on a spit. This spit is known in the area for not like bad things, but it's like a bit seedier and a little bit and I lost my notes. That's why I always have your notes tab open before you start talking.
Says the DM.
Exactly. So yeah, no, this area, it's known to be a little bit seedier. It's kind of like, your outlaw hangout area. It's got casino, a racetrack for like animals and stuff, and it's run by this guy called Davik. Now, Davik is an Ardent with cactus arms, and he has some Ectus guards and a few other Ardents, and they run this kind of, they run this spit. It's their little place, and they hold gambling, and they hold races, which are all rigged. Everybody knows it's all rigged, but they have fun anyway. And I mean, whether you agree with Davik or not, he's not pure evil. But he's not a great guy either. It's a little place out in the middle of nowhere for people to have a little bit of fun. So this is the scene of our location. We find Scuttles in Time, the sentient centipede, hanging out. And so you guys are currently watching one of the races. There's pinwolves and those like cactus cats and other weird creatures running around this track, and everybody's betting on them and different things. And we see Scuttles in Time talking to Davik. And Davik saying, "You owed me money, so I'm taking this." And he grabs this kind of thing from Scuttles, and he says, "This is payment for what you owe me. Now get out of my sight before we have any trouble."
Are we just like we're at the docks?
No, you're in the stands watching the race, and there's like this little, like, how like the VIP sections at like hockey games or soccer games have the little like booths. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's like you guys are sitting like kind of near the booth, and there's this little booth, and there's Davik and some of his guards, and he's like shoving this centipede out of the booth. And so, yeah, feel free, Andrew, to do anything as you're being kind of shoved out of there. Yeah.
Scuttles his antenna would twitch in distress and despair as he looked at Davik. He would kind of grovel at Davik's feet. His four legs, I don't know, the 10 legs would be like grasping at Davik's feet imploringly, and he would be murmuring things like this: "Do not let this doom come to my family. Have mercy." And then he would slip into his own like indigenous tongue of clicking and clacking mandibles. It would have like a very quick cadence of distress as he expressed these things to Davik.
anyone who speaks Knock can understand him.
I was just about to ask that.
Yeah. Anyone? Oh, go
I
ahead.
ain't got it. Don't look at me.
Yeah. Anyone who understands Knock, I assume. Yeah. What are you saying there, Scuttles?
Scuttles would be saying, You can take anything else, but I must bequeath this item to my daughter. Do not take it. And so on.
Yeah. So Davik just kind of laughs at you, and he's holding this this fancy looking thing, and he just kind of kicks you in the head, and his 2 guards pick you up and throw you out of the room.
His hundreds of legs would like wave in the air as he lands on his back carapace before eventually like righting himself. Little scuttling legs. Again, his antenna would droop down, and he would kind of lower himself into it's not dirt, but because it's in the trees, right, or something.
Yeah, this is like, again, you're on like kind of a raised platform overlooking this racetrack, and so
he would like lower himself onto the filthy boards of the structure and hang his head despairingly.
And I'll rush over to him and like kind of pick him up and kind of help him dust him off. Like, I understand them not lighting us. I think it's the legs. And ask him what was that about your family?
Kill me now, Scuttles would throw me into the trees. Let the trees take me.
Well, I mean, that could be arranged, but it seems a little bit extreme.
No, Scuttles. Sorry, I need to stay in character. Scuttles is very upset. He's very, very unhappy. Very unhappy.
We can assume that
Centipede.
We can assume that Scuttles continues to moan about.
yeah.
After a while, I just kind of like go to Tzitzi and I like hand over like, I brought some of the mead. Does he want some? Drink away sorrows kind of help.
I offer him some. It's like reassuring brew and say that not everyone is as distasteful as those fellow guards in Knock. Throwing some odd smelling rainbow brew in front of your face.
You would his antenna would like perk up a little bit at the act of kindness of these strangers.
You can always
You'd
depend on the
express-
kindness of strangers.
He'd say,
It's the most trustworthy kind of kindness.
Right? You can always depend on the kindness.
you'd express, the most joyous of my days has been turned into the darkest of them. There is no hope anymore for me. The traditions of my line end here. I have dishonored my hatchling, my precious hatchling daughter.
Well, at least you don't have the spirits of your ancestors looking down on you.
I fully just do like one of those back of the head swipe smacks.
He says completely. He says completely unironically.
Is there like an edge to this this platform that they're on?
Yeah, sure. There's an edge.
Scuttles approaches the edge and he makes some sort of enigmatic sign before his chest and body as he kind of positions himself on his hind legs as the last, I don't know, 20 of his legs, and poises himself above the edge, kind of like curled like an S shape. And he would close his eyes. Let the trees take me. And he looks ready to hurl himself over the edge into the darkness under eaves.
I grapple gun him, just like blank face, just be like, no, and I grapple gun him, just back up, just no, here, drink the booze, it's okay. So what did he take?
They took everything.
Okay, but there was an
like,
object
what is everything?
in an itemized list.
Guys, it's not important that we know what's in the box. The hook here is that the box itself is important, and therefore we need to get it back for him.
Is this Jisan saying this, or are you metagaming?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. If you can't tell, I'm doing my job properly.
Yeah. Just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of times when we should have at least checked what was in the box, we just, could have avoided a whole lot of things. Also, just out of curiosity, was there a reason that we actually came here, or is it just somewhere we ended up on our travels?
You just happened to come here on your travels. Yeah.
Okay. So we're not like trying to become an ally with what's his face or something.
No. This, like, you guys know of this area. It was on your way, so you happened to stop here to, resupply and do all that jazz.
In Cactus.
Yeah.
Belt is gonna pull Jisan aside and say, "Hey, usually people who have these kinds of traditions have a family backing them. Maybe this guy could give us some connections if we, get him out of this slump."
I just shrug and I'm like, sad centipede. Do I need any more motivation than that?
A little bit of greed never hurt anyone.
I just make a face and say, why do we keep making friends with people with so many buggy hands?
He's not vertebrate.
What is
We
the
can trust
Can't just say that anymore.
Hey, I'm sensitive about that.
What is the beverage that's being offered to Scuttles? Like, what would it smell like? What would it do? What effect would it have on
fruity
him?
mead, but also like maybe drugs, but mostly fruity mead.
But also
Just a
maybe
hint of drugs.
Yeah.
You can't ignore the fact that it probably may be drugs.
Yeah,
Like,
it's mead with a little LSD.
Yeah. With trace amounts of LSD.
Just like everything you touch, everything you interact with, every time we touch you, every time we give you food to eat, you know what I mean? The list goes on. Eventually,
Every time we touch, I get the feeling.
Freckles out there hanging in the sky.
Can't you feel my heart beat fast? I want this to last. Wow, this applies.
I picture you guys like docking at like a port and people being like, oh shit, it's that ship, and everyone like putting gloves on their hands and like, because the whole ship is just LSD. And so like, yeah, everyone's putting on like hazmat
for
suits
fun, and they're like, no kids, no. And we're like, come children. The magical mystery tour.
All right.
Excellent.
Well, okay. So Scuttles, he doesn't really want to end his life. I mean, he's very, very depressed, but he's also in the moment of emotion. So the distraction that these strangers offer distracts his mind for a moment, but he does accept the drink. To which it seems to loosen up his tongue a little bit, and he expresses that they took his. They took his. That's what they took.
That's really important for coming of age. Why would you put that up as collateral?
Scuttles would nod sadly.
I'm a little offended for your daughter.
And he'd clasp his four appendages together reverently, and you'd say, I had hoped to give my daughter at her wedding but they took it. They took it,
Well-
and now all honor has been taken from me and from my family. The traditions of our ancestors will be lost.
Oh, sure. Like that many. I don't quite know the language, but I know that that extra click. That's like 6 generations.
Scuttles would
You really-
nod.
You really goofed. Just keeps laying it on.
At the Scuttles would agree, and at the word you really fucked up or whatever, he would moan, kill me, kill me now. There is nothing left. And he would I don't know, do they have weapons on their hips or anything?
Got a grappling hook, and I'm sure there's probably a frying pan around here somewhere.
I have 5 whispers cocked and loaded and ready to go.
My lips are my weapons.
Do you want wooden fangs, or do you want Daddy's little boy? Both of them are equally deadly.
Daddy's little boy, Tombstones.
You wish.
Okay. You would take. He has a shovel slinged on his back, and you start hammering his head into it, and make a soft dull bonk, 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 bonk.
Kind of hitting your head on the desk. You're not exactly hurting yourself, but it's just oh, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
maybe your daughter would be fine with just skipping family traditions and self-actualizing as an independent person without having to rely on the ritual that defines her as a part of your family.
Oh no, she's been looking forward to this day since childhood.
She's been brainwashed. So what if you miss a couple family traditions? It's fine. She's going to be fine, and she's never going to have issues, I say, drinking to the bottom of my glass.
And literally, in the background, your ancestors are yeah, what's that? Issues? Ha, ha. And they're doing raps and push-ups and
Drinking harder, drinking harder, drinking harder.
As you're
Darn it, keep drinking, I can still hear them.
As you're hey, yeah, we can just ignore the tradition. Pelt's oh, sure. Maybe she can find a crew to Wildsea with, because she won't be welcome around here.
Oh my
Yes,
god.
that sounds great and delightful.
Nothing like family exclusion.
All right, so what can we do? We want to help this guy? Are we gonna? Or what? What's
Help
your
him,
deal?
Die or
wow. Turn.
Obviously, we're going to agitate the crime lord, guys. I'm elbows deep into this glass at this point.
Oh, sure. I mean, we could agitate him. Maybe we could just give this thing as payment. I don't know.
So what exactly did you owe him for, anyway?
Scuttles would
buy it off him?
recover slightly from their irreverent comments of just having his daughter move on. The sacred traditions of the past and the memories and wisdom of the ancestors. But yeah, he'd recover as sorry, Bev, what's the name of your character again?
Rook.
Rook, as Rook asks him the question about how he ended up losing his precious heirloom, and he would think a moment, and then he would say, "It was meant to be the most glorious of weddings. My daughter, my eldest hatchling, was to be married 2 weeks ago. And I was, as is tradition with our people, I was going to pay for the wedding. But we had a bad harvest that year. This year we've had a bad harvest. And there was a disease that infected our mushroom harvest, and I was unable to pay. So I took out a loan. But my circumstances didn't get better, and eventually they took everything, including the heirloom. It is sacred to our people. It contains the memories of the past, the ways of growing, the ways of caring for the mushrooms. It has everything. And
So
now
you
I
obviously didn't learn anything from it.
Oh no, you don't understand. Like, their ancestors are basically in that thing. It is their knowledge.
I mean, you're saying this guy is a loan shark. Heck, I'll steal stuff from him just for being that, you know?
We've stolen less from bigger.
We're pirates, aren't we?
Have you met our children?
Have you all considered maybe just trying to get the other guy on their side?
The loan shark?
Yeah, loan sharks are great. They have money.
I mean, he does control this entire spit.
All you need is some collateral, and they're your good buds.
That's not what kneecaps say.
No, okay. See, first of all, kneecaps are weird. Second, they only break them if you don't have collateral.
So wait.
We have a ship.
You want to put down the ship as collateral?
Yep. And we challenge him. We challenge him to a race.
We have a ship, which means that we can go out and get riches, which we can use to purchase services, which he could then offer us a loan to purchase additional services, such as to start a war.
I feel like this
How much
is an
for
endless
one
cycle.
war?
Obviously, yeah, you're getting it.
I'm kind of liking the we bet him on a race deal right now, but are we racing the ship or are we like, I don't know.
Doesn't matter if he dies in the exit tunnel.
If you look down, it is there again. There's pinwolves and those. I'm blanking on the word, but they're like the cactus cats and like other. And like other Wildsea creatures running. It's a dog race, basically.
Wait, what? Looks over at Monkey Dog. Looks over at friends. Looks at Monkey Dog. Looks at friends. No.
Now wait, are you having a moment of empathy for the poor animals that are being forced to race? Or are you thinking that we should enter Scraps in a race?
I'm debating whether or not me being proud of my big doggo and heck yeah, he can beat your doggo is better than my friends potentially putting my doggo in danger for the purposes of befriending a loan shark. I'm feeling both right now, very strongly. I'm open to suggestions.
I mean,
Really, he's more of a climber than a racer, but you know.
I was about to say we should enter him in a boxing match.
Or race up a tree. That a nice race up a not cockfight tree.
Let's just go yell at him and tell him to give it back, and then we can get a gauge of what kind of person he is.
I actually
and then we
like
can
that
come up
plan.
with our plan. Yeah, then we can get a. Yeah, if he wants to gamble us for it, then whatever. And if he gets all aggressive with it, we'll just, do what we do best.
make an enemy out of a spit.
Sink it.
Excellent. You guys are going to talk to Davik?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, you guys can walk up to there's two guards standing at the quote unquote entrance of this little box area, and you see Davik again, an ardent with ectus arms. And he's having a drink and watching the dog race, and he's laughing to one of the people sitting beside him and pointing at different things. And then you can hear that everybody's cheering and yeah. Oh, he's going to win. And Davik makes a little hand motion, and someone in the crowd just shoots the one in front, and you see one cross the second dog crosses the line, and Davik's like, I win again. Wonderful.
Good game.
I turn to everyone else and I go, no!
So we're not entering Scraps into the contest.
I would like him not to be shot.
I assume Scuttles kind of went with him.
I just turned to them like, we can pass Belt off as a dog. Right?
Yeah, but
or party CC, not all of you, just, a portion you can afford to maybe get shot.
I mean, he does have a point in Brace.
Yeah, you guys are just there in front of the guards.
Hi.
What's your business?
Want to talk to the boss?
About what?
I have a wager for him.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
We have a wager for him.
interesting. One of the guards goes off and whispers in Davik's ear, and Davik kind of just waves, and the guard moves out of the way, and you guys are allowed to walk in. And Davik kind of turns to you. You have a wager for me? Interesting. What is it?
Yes, what is it?
We want Scuttles
the family heirloom is literally sitting beside him. He's using it as like it's this big, maybe a little bit larger than a football, but kind of oddly shaped with intricate carvings of centipedes and mushrooms and flowers and different things. And it's got a bit of a flat top, and he's using it as a coaster on his table.
Yeah, power.
I like your coaster.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
You want my new coaster? And he kind of picks it up and he's kind of twirling it in his hand. I just got this. It's quite a good coaster. It holds my drink just that little bit higher. So, I was thinking of getting a new table, but this just accents it nicely.
We also want weapons.
Ooh.
And friends.
Well, interesting. Yes. Well, that's a big offer. What are you wagering then for something so big?
That awkward moment when all of us just stop and stare at each other. Right. What do we have that's worth that much?
That, isn't sentient.
I have two whispers that could help us out here. One is riding high, and the other is gold watery eyes.
Ooh, okay. How would you either or both? And
I'm going to use gold watery eyes to basically go into basically a sob story that I don't have the energy to really roll today.
Don't worry.
Especially in the voice. But it's a sob story telling him this guy about this guy has skin farms and an army to back them up. This sucks. We want to go deal with that, and we're going to need capital with that. Also, with war comes spoils. And
don't forget profits.
Right?
I also just go to the guy and I'm like, just to be clear, these guys specifically target Ardents as stock, and they have a real tendency to probably pick off some of the people who get forgotten by society, the people who tend to work for you, also you.
They're breeding them like cattle.
Interesting.
Yeah, but they're also probably always looking for new stock.
So
if you've lost anyone, then
I'm just saying, if these guys get big enough, if these guys get big enough one way or another, either as a rival business or as a legitimate threat to your skin, you probably don't want these guys getting too big for their britches.
I've heard of them before. Oh yeah, we've had a few dealings here and there. We mainly deal with which one is it? We normally deal with Nulm, but Yeah, he's one of the three generals of the family, so to say. And yeah, I don't really like Nulm. I mean, if someone was to take them down, it would be good for business.
Well, that's absolutely in our plans.
We're looking
However,
for sponsors.
we're going to need, we need capital and supplies.
Capital and supplies.
Depending on the size of your donation, there are perks like T-shirts.
That's a interesting offer. I'd have to make sure that this never comes back to me if it goes the wrong way, of course.
I can say that I've never met you in my life.
Excellent. Well, what kind of collateral do I get in case this does go south, so to say? What can you? How do I know your crew of whatever you are? He kind of gestures towards you. Is worth my time? How are you four going to beat this entire family?
That is an excellent question. I turn to the other guys and I'm like,
Well,
So, like,
it's not just us. We've been
Taking the
gathering
other
around.
side. It's like taking the other side of Gold Watery Eyes. It just shifts from a sob story to like the con
Okay.
of being like, no, like these are the riches that we will be getting. Like here's the I'll even pull out the brass tongue price guide and be like, no, look, see, like this is this is going to lead to this is going to lead to this. You're basically showing like the river of profit and how it's going to go. And he's like, no, like where would you want to be on this? Would you want to be like all the way down at the delta? Wait, actually, we wouldn't have words for rivers and deltas. Or would you want to be at the top, collecting all the rain on the leaves, or would you want to be stuck way down here at the end of it, taking the least amount of the gross profits?
Mafioso Kermit over here taking over Sesame Street.
Well, it's about time those kids paid rent.
This isn't a charity.
dude, Elmo's mom got laid off in the pandemic, okay?
Elmo's world is crashing down around him.
Yeah, no. If you use up the whisper in the chart, you'll. Okay. Fair enough. I'll make sure you have some backing, as long as none of this gets back to me. Yeah. I can arrange for a little bit of help. That can be done. Of course.
And like at some point, I'll be like, throw in that statue and. Blah blah blah. Like,
now
Get you a T-shirt.
because like it's just kind of a coaster to the guy, so it's like, I kind of like that knick-knack. Throw that in, and we'll just add like this a little bit.
Whoa.
Payment down the line.
Whoa. Davik doesn't do payment up front. You gotta, if you want the coaster, you gotta earn it.
You just said he doesn't do payment up front, and that's music to my ears. You'll find that I am a big fan of credit.
I just turned to the other guys and I'm like, whatever happens, do not sign anything. Not with your own name. Use a fake name. Use Gomez's name. I don't care.
Just take out a massive line of credit while he's stuck fighting a forever war.
It's like one of the.
Gomez is about to like have victory over the fire, and then somebody shows up and be like, you've been served.
And then he just drops a whisper on that guy.
Yeah, what?
20 unexplored forks. Be gone. No, so one of the issues is we don't have money in the system, so I'm like,
Yeah,
collateral.
he wants something. So I'm gonna give you a little bit here. He basically Scuttles over here. He borrowed two cargo worth of stuff, so he owes 3 cargo in payments, and he took this quote unquote coaster, family heirloom, as payment for said cargo.
I mean, that's seems fair.
We have cargo of stuff.
Well, we have cargo, but I don't want to get rid of our cargo. Now, maybe we could go and get some cargo. Maybe go explore some kind of a ruin or something in the area. I mean, we are wild sailors after all.
I mean, yeah. Davitt kind of looks at you guys.
You've been looking for?
You know,
Do you have a challenge for us.
There's an old man who let's just say we have an interesting relationship. And he lives just a little ways away from here. Now, he has something that I want. It's fairly new. He's had things I've wanted in the past, and he didn't give them to me. But this one's expendable, and he'll give it to me if you ask for it. Go and pick it up.
Okay.
I'm going to study his meaning.
Yeah.
Using my instinct and my study, because especially after who we've encountered, I definitely don't like these shady types and always suspect double speak. So 2d6. 3 and a 5.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. You looking around, you kind of gather that he's talking about this old man seems like either some kind of mentor or previous business partner of some sort. And the thing he wants is clearly dangerous. It's hazardous. He doesn't want to send his own men to pick it up because it's not going to be a safe thing. However, you don't get the vibe that the old man is necessarily dangerous. He's not trying to trick you beyond the fact that the cargo itself is dangerous.
But he's not telling us what the cargo is.
No, he's not telling you what the cargo is.
All right. So once it becomes clear that he's avoiding that, Belt's going to be all right, so are we talking we're talking explosive, biological? If we shake it, is it going to explode?
Is that a big old animal for your race pit?
Well, I mean, it's not very big yet.
It's a big old animal for the race pit, guys.
All right.
You seem capable enough. It'll work out one way or the other.
Let's get that bread. All right, guys. Do you need a hostage? I could stay here and drink with you.
I can promise you will have a perpetually good time with him.
He kind of looks at you. No. If you get the job done, we can have a drink.
I'll hold you to that. Okay, let's go.
I assume you
have
guys
to have a chart leading us to said.
Yeah, he'll give you a map so you guys can get there. I'm not going to make you guys do a big thing to get there. There'll be something, but it won't be a full journey kind of thing.
As we kind of finish the conversation and walk by, I'm going to point over at sentient sad centipede of sadness.
Centipede.
And say, you're coming with us. Welcome to the Expendables.
Scuttles would bow his head deferentially, and he would clasp his hands in gratitude for the assistance of these strangers. No, of course.
I do like to be worshipped wherever I go.
Anything to return for my daughter.
Yeah, you guys all hop onto the bow breaker and head off onto the waves. Yeah, you guys find yourselves kind of, again, he gave you a map. It's not anything too crazy. You go okay, and after about a day's trip, you see off in the distance like a big clearing. Like it's weird. It's kind of eerie even. And as you come closer and closer to it, you start hearing a noise. It's like a roar or a growl with like a little bit of rattling in it. And the smell of like pollen fills the air.
Any colorful trees?
No.
Okay. That's a good start. Where's this old man? Is there not like a cabin or something around?
You get the feeling that like clearing in the distance is where you're supposed to be going, but you can't quite see what it is just yet. And that sound and that smell is getting louder.
I send up the bird.
Okay.
To see what's coming at us or is around us.
Are you marking it?
Yes.
Okay. What does that give you again when you mark it?
I can automatically see and through hear it just as part of his thing, and then I learn a secret about the surrounding waves if I mark it.
Oh yes, and you gain advance notice when you're in danger. So you are in danger, and the secret you're gathering is there's 2 of them, and they are lion's manes. They're the huge plant flower thing. That like it's terrifying. It's on page 175 of the book if you want to check it out. But yeah, it's the big flower plant with like spiky legs and a weird gnarly tongue. And they are well known on the Wildsea for hunting anything and everything. And yeah, there's 2 of them currently hunting your ship.
I definitely call out the warning, bang the gongs, ring the drum. Captain, deathly veggies ahead.
Fire up the saw.
we didn't have an established captain. It just happened.
Excellent.
To your
speaks up first.
Engine room, fire up the saws. We're going ham.
I just kind of like look. I'm assuming this is over some kind of like the speaker system thing. I just kind of look at the thing and be like, when did you start giving orders? And then I just sigh and roll my eyes and I chuck more of the literature in the engine.
Excellent.
I got 6. Well, I had 6. Now I have 4.
Yeah, no, you guys start going faster. Scuttles, by the way, you're on the ship too if you want to be doing anything. But
Scuttles is scuttling around the ship.
Fair enough. Yeah,
in like a
you guys
fretting type way, or
roll me saws, I guess.
So
Are we just turning around and whacking them down? Yeah, of course we're turning around and whacking them down.
a weed whacker on the front of our ship, and they're big plants.
34112.
Oh, excellent. Conflict with a twist. Yeah, so you managed to hit one of these things and it's injured. Like you hit it just like on the side and you don't kill it, but you injure it and you keep going. And I have the perfect twist here. So you hear someone like start yelling over like a loudspeaker. Like you hear the like, and as like a loudspeaker kind of like does its thing, and then you hear like a like it's a little too far away to actually hear what it's saying. But yeah, you hit one of them. The other one is still like actively trying to find a position to attack you, and the one that you hit is like limping away towards that like clearing that you're supposed to get to.
I'm going to take aim at the one trying to get an angle on us and shoot a bolt above its face.
Okay.
A blast bolt.
Are you guys still trying to move towards the clearing, or are you kind of stopping and maneuvering around these guys, or are you just plowing through?
I'd say probably just plowing through.
Okay, good to know.
It's not our intent to fight them to the death, but
fair enough.
I mean, they should probably piss off.
Yeah, shoot away then.
I'm going to be using my hunting skills, as this is a very violent situation, and I'm not actually trying to hurt it. I'm trying to herd it.
Yeah.
So that is, I'm going to be using my grace as I ride this bucking ship as we chop through both man and beast and wave with my manifold bow and my 2 hunt. 46. 2, 2, 4, 5.
Awesome. Conflict with a twist. You managed to startle this thing. But I'm just going to say it's going to deal, like it's going to ram itself against in its startlement, in its startledness, startlement. I don't know. Anyway, in its startledness, it's going to ram the ship, and the ship will take 1 point of damage. And then it's going to kind of sink beneath the waves as it goes to hide. And you guys have reached the edge of this clearing. And when I say clearing, again, the Wildsea is a system with like the whole world is trees. So when you get to the edge of a clearing, you can see all the way down.
Big drop.
And it's this big round like clearing, and you like the light doesn't even reach all the way down there. And does anyone look down?
Absolutely.
Nope. Yes.
Anyone who looks down can take a point in mire. As it's like you can see, whether you can see ghosts or not, you see like thousands of ghosts of the dead and the haunted and tormented, and you can see like creatures and things moving down there as shadows, and it's a black abyss looking into like hell itself. It's terrifying.
Oh my gosh. That's scary.
Okay, I'm definitely not looking down into it. I'm an engineering inside and not. Can I like sense that or?
Oh yeah. You're like, because you have your ghost ancestors still following you around.
Yeah.
And yeah, they kind of shut up a little bit. In like, it's weird because normally they're always pumping iron and like giggling and chuckling at you. But right now, they're kind of silent and a little bit faded.
Okay, I am officially freaked out.
Yeah, you can take a point in mire just for them being weird around you.
Dang it, I already got one.
I'm going to be giving out more mires this season.
I don't need to look again.
And then in the center of this clearing, there are 3 giant chains going from huge trees around the clearing, going into the center, holding up this kind of tower that it's dangling there from these 3 chains. And yeah, it's like a large, like 4-story tower in the middle of this clearing. and that's clearly the house that you're supposed to go to.
Okay. Well, let's drop anchor a short ways away.
And not fall into a hole.
And take the bee steeds over. Why don't we?
Ooh,
how are we
good
going to
call.
carry centipede?
Well, he can ride behind me. I'm a tiny mushroom man. I don't take up much room.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'll just sit a little spoon with him while we go over.
Excellent.
I've never felt a hug so complete.
So many arms.
I'll wrap you in all 100 of my legs.
I've never felt so safe or restrained.
Hey guys, I got this idea. It's called a seatbelt.
Hey, you can't control me.
We just sit on you.
Yeah, you guys can take the bee steeds over and land, and there's like a little walkway around the tower, and so you can land there, and there's a big door on the front of it and some windows with some lights on inside, I guess. And yeah, and then there's a few weird door ports and holes kind of near like the top of the tower and near the bottom of the tower and just in random spots. And there looks to be like scratches on parts of the chains and stuff. Like these chain links, by the way, are massive. Like they're probably 8 feet at least in diameter, holding up this tower, and just like huge chains going way back to those trees. At least, 200 feet long chains.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we've walked into the lair of the Beastmaster, it seems.
Nice.
Yeah, feel free to knock on the door.
Like,
I
is
knock
this
on
like
the
bridge
door
on the
with my
chains, or
monkey
do we have to
staff.
like crawl over them?
No. You guys are on the little, like, there's a little walkway around the tower, but the chains go 200 feet back. Like, if you guys didn't have the bee steeds, you would have needed to walk across the chains to get down here.
Okay,
Nice.
perfect.
Yeah. I forgot you had the bee steeds. Well done.
Bees.
Yeah, I assume you guys knock.
Yeah.
Excellent. This little old man, this little ardent man, like opens the door and he goes, hello?
Hey.
I don't get many visitors. How can I help you? Oh, what lovely bees. And he starts like petting your bees. He goes, oh, so pretty.
Oh, it's wholesome.
They're very gentle, and I love them. I would kill you
like-
and anyone else if anything happened to them.
He's pulling out like little snacks from his pockets and feeding the bees.
These are
No
my
artificial
friends
sweeteners.
Yep. He's the correct companion choice. Okay. So we need to ask him if he knows anything about the owner of the racetrack and if they have any like history and to tell us his story.
Oh, Davik? Yeah, I know him. He's almost like a grandson to me. Oh, what a funny
Knew it.
man.
Knew it was. I was going to say dad, but like it's one generation apart. I was so close. Anyway, continue on. Sorry.
Tell us
Yeah.
more of the young boy tales over some mead.
Do you guys share mead with him?
Heck yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you guys
We
can
just
come in.
automatically carry it everywhere to make
That's fair.
This is a flask of
Yeah.
friend mead.
Yeah, you guys can come in, and he has like
Call it Flask of Friend.
so this
The
tower,
Nakama brew.
it's probably like 50 feet in diameter and just a round tower, 4 stories high. And you walk in and you can see the roof of this thing, and it's just all cages in weird angles and stacked in weird directions and like full of different animals that like are coming and going from those holes that were in the tower. And there's a big pot on one side, and he's got some kind of like a stew boiling there. And yeah, it smells absolutely terrible. Even Jisan, this smells weird to you. Like this is a weird looking stew, and he's like scooping. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it sort of smells not like food, and that's really disturbing to me. Right? Like it's like there's good food and there's bad food, but is this even food? Like, what would you use this for?
Yeah. And yeah, he's like drinking your mead, and every now and then he pours some of the mead into the stew. And instead of like, combining with the stew, like liquids should, it almost like sizzles and like bubbles away. Like it physically can't connect with the stew. And he's just
floating on top like lava.
Well, almost. And so he's like just stirring it and like scoops a thing into a bowl and like gives it to some of the animals, and they're like confused but eating it. And he's sitting there like drinking his mead and drinking some of the stew, and his like spoons are all like semi-melted and rusted at the same time. Like it looks like it's rust but melting. And he has like several like broken spoons on the floor. And
does he offer Scraps any?
Yes, he does.
Can I kind of like, how would I check to know if this is going to kill my puppy?
The other animals are eating it.
Okay, and there's nothing that makes me go, this is sketchy?
Roll away to do like sense or study.
Which one do I want? I want...
Or even...
Do I get an edge?
Yeah, you always get an edge.
Okay. Where did I put my dice? There it is. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I get a 5th for anything? No.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a 5th because you have advantage, because Scraps is actually looking like he might enjoy this.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a 5 with the twist.
5 with the twist?
Yes.
So the conflict here is it's clearly Krezerin based. The twist is Scraps really looks like he wants it.
Okay, I let him have some.
Yeah, Scraps will start eating it. This old man will offer you guys all a bowl as well as he's sitting there eating it.
I am still full from before. I will pass this time.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. It's not for everyone. No, not everybody likes it, as he's just spooning a bowl full for himself.
Scuttles would keep... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I guess since, I let my dog eat it, it would be real bad form if I didn't have any. So
yeah.
I go to take some.
Okay. And who else is taking some?
Scuttles would peel back one of the segments of his carapace, and out would jump from that segment would jump out a little rat roach that would sniff at the porridge, the stew, taste it, and then lap some of it up, and then Scuttles would follow form after his little friend tested it.
Awesome.
He's got a pet, you guys.
He does. Yes, his pet. It looks like a cockroach with a rat's head and a rat's tail.
Oh my gosh.
That's horrifying.
I just feel like at some point we're going to find out it has pigeon wings too.
I mean, it has cockroach wings.
It would flutter its little wings happily as it munched.
Yeah. And its front like cockroach legs are like rat's hands, so it has like opposable thumbs.
It grasp at the bowl with its little opposable thumbs as it buries its head in the bowl.
Now that's a vertebrate right there. Mm-hmm. Or is it? You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So little Scuttles in his little pet hood.
Okay, so Scuttles and his pet will have some, and Rook's having some. Belt.
Oh, Belt definitely has some. If you offer food, Belt is going to eat it.
Excellent. Jisan?
I wait for everybody else to eat, and then when there's like less left in the pot, I'm gonna be like, you know what? I think I'm gonna like this. I'm gonna spice this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna spice it and spore it. I'm gonna be like, this needs to cook a little bit longer, and it could use some spices. But I'm definitely gonna put some spices in it from my my bandolier.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm also going to mark my my spores.
Oh, to give it a little hallucinogen?
Yeah, well, a lot.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay.
A decent amount.
Anyone who eats it can take a point of damage. As again, it's Krezerin based. However,
I don't take damage.
Oh, then you don't take damage.
Wait,
I didn't eat it.
Hang on a second. Would this be a concentrated source of Krezerin?
No, not a concentrated source, unfortunately.
Okay, then I don't heal.
No, unfortunately not. No, it's a weakened like stew Krezerin weird thing.
Before Jisan goes to add like their own thing, Belt's like, wait. Scoops a little bit more into their bowl. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have any, so there's tons.
Yeah. No, Jisan, you can spice it, and this little man will be like, "Oh, thank you, Sonny. What a polite young man." Oh, and he'll take a little spoonful after you spice it, and he goes, now that's the good stuff. And he like sits down in a chair, and he kind of like stretches out, and you notice as he stretches out, like his shirt kind of has a bit of pokes in it. And you notice he actually has an Ectus chest. Like you didn't really notice it under his shirt, but as he kind of like sits down and stretches, there's just the like cactus needles poking out of his chest. And he goes, "So, what can I do for you fine young people?"
I'm curious about the chest. I'm so curious because I don't have one of those.
I mean,
he points to it. He points to like a fanciful chest behind him that probably contains all manner of fabrics. Oh yes, or sorry, wrong voice. Like, oh yes, this is an heirloom from my.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, yes, this chest. It's a nice chest. You don't have a chest in your.
No, I mean I don't have spine needles from the clearly Ectus. How did you do that?
You've never grafted Ectus to yourself? Oh, you're not living, young one. It was all the rage years ago.
Did you have to kill somebody to get that?
Goodness, no. I mean, some people do, but that's a little bit too brutal. No, you can graft Ectus if you. The Ectus used to have trials of war and tribulation. They'd have their forever wars and stuff, and if you banded with them, sometimes people could gain honor and would be allowed to graft parts of Ectus to themselves. It's a beautiful status symbol, as he says, like rubbing the spines.
Huh. All right, that answers my questions.
We're here to pick up a package.
He kind of looks around. From from Davik, a package.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you have to forgive me in my old age. I never remember what that boy wants from me. What is it now that I'm supposed to be sending it? And he kind of starts like going through like letters on the desk and stuff.
Do we know? We don't know, do we?
He never actually told us, but we suspected it was a beastie.
Oh, some type of animal. Oh. And he kind of gets he's been smiling and a cheerful man this whole time. And he gets a kind of look on his face. And it's kind of like a grumpier, hardened look. Like you can tell he used to run some kind of like mafia gangstery kind of thing. Like he goes from being a sweet old man to like this hardened kind of look, and he goes, "That's the whippersnapper. Every time I get a new one, he wants it. Well,
Lion thing, isn't it?
he looks and he goes, you lot." And he there's like a screech in the distance. It's like that roar kind of rattle screech. And he's like, "You lot injured one of my pets on the way here. And now you want their newborn." And he kind of points to a cage on the wall. And there's like a young lion's mane in the cage. And he's like, "Well, if Davik wants it so bad, then he best be paying for it." It's not easy to tame lion's manes, you know. Takes a lot of work. So, what did he give you to give me? He wouldn't have sent you empty-handed.
You bet he
Sure.
would have.
There's a ton of treasure. It's on the ship. We just need to go get it and unload it.
Excellent. Well, go get it.
So I'm gonna motion to huddle up. Let's say Rook, probably, because she's got the right kind of sanity for this moment. I'm gonna just edge into her on the way back, and I'm like, "We don't have any treasure. However, stall him for 15 more minutes, and it will not matter. If let him finish his bowl of stew, he is going to be so out of his gourd that we are going to be able to literally just walk up and take it. He is not going to be able to stop us. Life will be fine. Just distract him for a while." And I'm going to hustle off to the ship with a spring in my step.
I look back and I go, yeah, might as well happen. Okay, so you said that you there was an act of honor to earn the Ectus thing. What's your story? I'm sure there's a great story of how you earned that. Yeah.
He sits down and he puts his old man smile back on, and he starts eating his soup. And he's like, "Oh yes, I was in a forever war with some Ectus back in the day, and it was a lot of fun. We conquered a lot of places and did a lot of things. It was good times. Saved some people, killed some people. You know how it goes. But yeah, and then they honored me with allowing me to graft some Ectus to myself." And he'll go on and regale you with all these crazy war stories and things. And it'll be half an hour, 45 minutes, and he's still eating the soup perfectly fine. Jisan, you're on the boat, and it's been half hour, 45 minutes.
So we've run into a snag, which is where the old man was already technically out of his gourd. And it brings us into a complication I did not see coming.
The state of being for him.
Well, we're going to have to lie some more. All right. I'm going to say that the crates in the hold were empty. I'm going to come back and I'd be like, "He tricked us. He sent us here with nothing. Just a bunch of empty boxes."
That sounds like that Davik. Ugh, silly whippersnappers.
Task successfully failed.
Well, you lot have to have something. Come on now. I mean, you seasoned my soup and it was quite good. Don't get me wrong. It's been a while since I've been this high.
You're just kind of looking at him like, what?
Old man knows the shit. What do I say? He got me.
He just kind of looks at you guys. He's like, "I ran in a forever war back in the 70s. and I also ran a mafia gang in the 80s. You guys You guys really tried to drug me? That takes balls. Well done.
Like I get it. You're the men who stare at Legos. I get it.
He points to a crate, like a cage on the shelf, and there's a Legos in it. For reference, Andrew, a Legos is a creature. It's like a ball creature with like 100 like goat hooves and like no face or eyes, and they're just it's just all legs.
All of legs.
But they're also as good at
Relative.
climbing as goats are.
Relative
But they move by
Scuttles.
rolling.
Yeah, they like roll climb. Yeah, it's terrifying.
Sounds horrifying. What eldritch horrors are there in this world?
Whatever we decide to make up. Anyone for some sawnanas?
Delicious bananas.
Scuttles would be fishing through his various carapace pockets for something to offer the old man.
Yeah.
You reach into one and you find some old mushrooms, and he would hold it extended out to the old man and say, a smelly surprise. And you if he had eyebrows, he would wiggle his eyebrows.
Yes,
but he doesn't.
You're
It's
using
like
the
little waves of legs.
you're using the whisper smelly surprise as you hand him these old mushrooms. Excellent. Yeah.
I don't know the mechanics of this game. I don't know.
Are they now the good stuff?
I'll let you know here, Andrew. Don't worry. That was beautiful. That was the perfect moment. Well done. Yeah, as Scuttles pulls these mushrooms out and whispers a smelly surprise for you, like, offering them as a trade, you look and the old man's eyes widen, and Jisan, you're a connoisseur of hallucinogens and food, as well as a mushroom yourself. These are like absolutely the weirdest looking, like grade A, weirdest looking, smelliest, most toxic, hallucinogenic, primo mushrooms that you've ever seen in your life. Like this guy says he's a mushroom farmer, and you were like, oh cool, he harvests mushrooms. No, this guy's a mushroom farmer.
Oh my god. It just hit me. Oh my god, guys.
You sound like got nothing on this guy.
I just became I just realized I was a big fish in a small pond. Really, my influence is small, and I think too much of my powers. You know what? I got caught. I got caught out. I fucked around. I found out. This old man will quickly grab the mushrooms from you and put them in a little pouch, and he ties it and hides it under his shirt, and he's like, Of course. Take the one. Take it. Yes. Lovely. Thank you.
Can I also use a whisper?
Yeah, go for it.
I want to use my whisper now that we're friends with this fellow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use the whisper. Oh, where is it? Leviathan Breeding Ground.
Oh.
And see if he may have something that he recovered that he'd be willing to gift us on our journey.
Yeah, you see him turn as you whisper Leviathan Breeding Ground. And
because he has such interesting species, I'd love to have another friend for the boat.
No, as you whisper that, you hear a noise, like a terrifying noise. Okay, we're gonna just pause. I'm gonna stop it here for a second. We're gonna let Jonathan go to bed, and then we're gonna restart if that's okay with people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
And we're back. Okay. So as you whisper Leviathan Breeding Grounds, you hear a rumble from beneath you, just absolutely terrifying rumble, and you all know that a Leviathan has like either died here or lived here or passed through here, or just this area is, I mean, you all knew it was not normal when you saw it, because like nothing's clear cut like this in the Wildsea, but like, oh boy, it hit you, something's here, or something was here. And yeah, this old man is gonna turn to you and just be like, oh, one sec. It's giving me an alert.
An alert?
Oh, okay. I think we're good. Yeah, this old man is going to kind of look at you guys and go, yes. You know what? I think it is time. And he kind of will like grab something, and he just kind of like growls down into this like tube. Like, you guys have all those weird tubing like to talk around the ship. And he like growls into one of the tubes, and you can hear it like reverberate and echo down into like the cavern. And he'll pull out an egg from behind something and give it to you, Tzitzi. And this egg is like the size of a football.
I cradle against myself like I've never held something this precious in my life before, staring at it in awe.
Yeah, and he'll also give you like, he'll like take the crate with your guys' help. He'll take the cage down and give you the young, what is it called? Lion's mane. The creature there. Yeah.
What type of... Where did you get this?
He just kind of looks at you and looks at the egg, and he goes, things come by here every now and then, and I let them be, and they let me be.
Teach me your ways. I must come back.
Yeah, you never see Beastmaster? Like, come on, man. That's how it works.
I'm just staring at awe at this person who can, like, not die after getting beasties like this under his control, after spending so much time, like, delving and hunting and avoiding things.
Kind of looks at you and he goes, well, maybe when you're a little older, come back and you'll be ready. You'll know. You'll find your way here, I'm sure.
Tzitzi-Yaku will remember that.
Excellent. I assume you guys take everything back to the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And I look to Centipedes over there. Scuttles, and say, with this, you know, I think we can finally make up for your mistakes. Cradling my new baby.
Scuttles would walk with a bit of a more optimistic step, or steps, many steps,
Plural. Always
plural
plural.
steps. And he would nod vigorously, and he would bow his head in gratitude to these strangers who risked so much to help him retrieve his ancient heirloom. But he would still reserve some of his joy, because he's not sure how the loan sharks will react, if they'll change the conditions. So he would look to the horizon as they hop back on their ship to return back. Yeah.
So we
The horizon bright or terrifying? Because lately we've been having some issues with storms.
Do we travel back without incident?
Yeah, no, you guys make it back without incident.
No more lion.
No,
things with us?
when you guys leave, you hear the little old man like rings a bell, and the lion's manes like move out of the way to let you guys go through.
Beastmaster.
Excellent. Were there any bits of them like caught up in the saws?
You guys will be getting things. You guys did anchor, so you get things, and I'll give it to you at the end of the session.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure that there were still remnants left over. Like, haha, we have done damage to things. No one mess with us.
I mean, not no. You guys definitely have done damage to things. But yeah, you guys make it back to. So this place is called Harek Stand. It's a spit, and yeah, Davik's there kind of when you guys land, and he goes as you unload. I assume you unload the lion's mane for him, or are you doing anything shifty? What are you guys doing?
We're not doing anything shifty, so long as he's not doing anything shifty.
Say we give it to him, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, just for his guards to unload it off the boat.
That's fair. Yeah, no, his guards will unload it off the boat. They'll help you. I mean, you guys have a cargo crane, so you guys can use that too.
I'm not. No, we're expendable. They're expendable. Things go both ways. They can play with the demon baby.
Wow. Yeah, no, he kind of looks at you guys and he goes, well done. Thank you for your help on this one. That was okay. Well, here you go. And he just tosses the family heirloom towards you guys.
Okay.
Like just like that underhand, like kind of like when you throw something to your friends.
Football.
And it's like like it's that terrible throw of like, oh God, like someone please catch this kind of thing.
Scuttles would like screech as he sees it fly.
Definitely going to vault and catch that with a very intenseness. I'm actually angry that he did that. But the disdain.
Yeah.
5-2-2. 3.
Yeah, you can catch it. It's not like you catch it last minute, but you managed to catch it. Do you have a twist for it, or?
Oh yeah, I'm sliding in and taking out his legs. Oh no, Davik!
He like falls down, and he's like, "Oh."
And then I hug him on my way up.
He gives you a hug back. He's like, "Well."
Oh wait,
checks his pockets.
He looks at you. He's like, "You guys were an interesting crew." Yes. Even grandfather was intrigued by you all. Well, keep up the good work, and we'll see you soon, I'm sure. We'll be in touch. I'll send some resources and people your way when you need them. And yes, excellent. And he turns to Scuttles, and he goes, the next time you need a loan or anything, please do call on me again. I always enjoy our interactions.
Scuttles certainly won't.
I mean, we've now established you're a magic mushroom dealer, so you probably do deal with him somewhat. So yeah. You might be mad at him for a little bit, but I could see Scuttles going back to him. I don't know. If you don't want him to, he doesn't have to.
Crawls back to.
I wouldn't say crawls back. Like you're a magic mushroom dealer. You probably have a little bit of influence and sway too. So as soon as the harvest gets good again, the tables might turn and it might be Davik groveling at your feet. So yeah.
Well, is it? Sorry, it's Tzitzi. Tzitzi's holding the heirloom.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I describe the heirloom? I know you've described it as well, but just as Tzitzi holds it.
Yeah, I'll take a quick look at it now that I have it up close and personal.
So as Tzitzi holds the heirloom, which is like this carved, dried mushroom, with as Ian described, it have various images carved into it. As he holds it, he would perhaps hear like a soft murmuring and whispering and clicking and clacking of mandibles in
Knock.
or a similar language to knock that Scuttles would have used when they met, and there'd just be this collective sound and of voices that would like softly murmur as he holds it in his hands.
Yeah, it's like Tzitzi, you're a hive mind, so you kind of understand this better than a lot of people would, because it's a hive mind of voices, which you're now gathering is like the ancestors of Scuttles, and they're all talking and describing how to make the best mushrooms.
Oh, it's like a whisper, like plaque or something.
Yeah.
That's super nifty. Can I remember any of it?
As you hand the thing back to Scuttles, those whispers kind of go away, and all you're left with is a craving for mushrooms.
I looked at Jisan longingly.
I look at him longingly.
Aw. delicious Jisan. But Scuttles, he would like, I don't know, I don't think centipedes cry, but as he
can cry if he wants to.
Okay.
He's a sentient Santa.
Yeah, he's a sentient Santa. Yeah, tears would roll down
He's a sensitive sentient centipede.
his carapace cheeks and like trench his mandibles, and his little antenna would be wet with the dew of his tears, and he would cry, thank you, kindness of strangers. Any way I can help you in the future, just let me know, and I will do it. You have brought me back to life. I was dead, but now I'm alive. And you bow in thanks to each of them before slipping the heirloom into one of his the now vacated little carapace pocket where he had the old mushroom stored.
Nice. And I think on that note, we'll end the session. I was Ian the Firefly.
I was Austin, the new mom.
I'm Bev, the Rook Ardent.
I'm Dylan, the Gow.
And we had Jonathan, but unfortunately it was long past his bedtime. And our extra special guest star was...
This is Andrew, and I played Scuttles in Time, the sentient centipede.
Excellent. And we are sponsored by nobody. Signing off.